What can you expect when you hire a voiceover coach? What's the point? What can they do? And how can they help you in voiceover? That is the question that we're going to be talking about today on the podcast. Welcome back, Jason here with a new episode number 19 of the Voice Acting 101 podcast. And this is where I try to answer your voiceover questions in the least amount of time as possible so you can get back to actually recording voiceover. All right, today's question was recorded and sent in by Anna, so let's get right to it.
Hi, Jason. Firstly, just wanted to say how much I enjoy all your hints and tips on your podcast, and also to say enjoy your time off. Next, my question is, as a complete novice to the business, what sort of help and support should I expect from a voice coach? Thanks now.
All right, thanks for sending in your question, Anna. So right out of the gate, a voiceover coach is someone who you can hire to help uncover the mistakes that you're making and maybe figure out, what you're doing wrong in voiceover. And that sounds harsh when I say it out loud, and that's not all that they do. But the truth is, no matter if you're like brand new to voiceover or if you've been doing it for some time now, potential clients, they're not going to tell you why you didn't get hired for a job. That's not their job. They're not going to do it. They're not going to take the time to do that. You know, when a client has a script, they're searching for a voice actor to hire to record that script, and maybe they've used like an agent to do the search for them. Maybe they've posted it on an online casting site, or maybe they've reached out to you directly. But either way, odds are that they're going to be comparing your voiceover sample or the audition that you send them with other auditions that they've received. So then once the client listens to all the auditions that they've received, they're going to pick the one that they want to hire. And they don't normally take the time to reach back out to those that didn't get the job and tell them the reasons why they didn't hire them for the job. And that's unfortunate, because if we knew the reasons why we didn't get the job, then we could learn a lesson from each failure. Each job that we didn't get, we could learn from that and we could make improvements. We would then have an idea of what we could do differently next time. And in that way, we could improve our audition to booking ratio, which really just means that you win more jobs from fewer auditions. But since we don't hear back on the auditions that we don't land, we never really know the reasons why we didn't land the job. And you never learn what you could tweak or what you could do differently to be better in voiceover. And this cycle of auditioning and then not getting the job and then not knowing why, it can just be frustrating and depressing and just feel like you're spinning your wheels in voiceover. And that leaves a lot of people discouraged, and some even want to quit voiceover altogether. So that is where a voiceover coach comes in. So a voiceover coach, they can help pick apart your studio quality and your performance aspects, like your breathing, your inflections, your tone, your emotions, and in general, just the way that you approach a script when you get a new script. Things to look for so that you can learn to interpret scripts better on your own. That's kind of the point of having a voiceover coach. So working with a voiceover coach, it's a way to practice and get feedback on what tweaks to make. And we can all benefit from coaching no matter what stage you're at right now, whether you're just starting out and you have no idea if you're any good or not, or if you're auditioning but you're not getting work. The voiceover coach is there to listen, and they're going to tell you what you need to improve, and they're going to show you how to improve it so that you can be a better voice actor, usually performance-wise, but they should also be able to recognize and help you with business and technical issues if that's part of the problem that you're having as well. And they're going to work with you like every week or however often you choose to gradually make you better through small improvements and suggestions that they make. So without the coach, without that feedback, it's harder to figure out exactly what to fix. Sometimes you can just feel lost and like you feel like you're doing everything right, but you're missing some things. Also, another benefit that comes from working with a coach is that, as voice actors, we can fall into a comfort zone where we just have a go-to read style that we like and we feel comfortable doing. But part of the job of a voiceover coach is to get you out of the comfort zone that you're so comfortable in so that you can try new things and challenge yourself. And maybe it won't be all that good the first time that you try it, but over time with practice and feedback from coaching, you're going to start to get more comfortable with other read styles that you never would have tried on your own. So this way you can figure out your stronger read styles and the ones where you're a little weaker and you need to practice some more. You can work on the struggles that you're having and increase the chances of being hired. So as far as a coaching session goes, it's going to differ from each coach, but basically you're going to receive scripts. The coach is going to provide you scripts and direction, and you're going to read through them with the coach. The coach is going to offer their suggestions on different ways to read it and different ways to interpret the script so that you can learn how to interpret it on your own. And if you look at the scripts like real jobs, and the coach being like a client, that's probably going to be one of the hardest to please clients that you're ever going to have to work with because they're just going to keep pushing you and pushing you in a good way. And then you're going to take this training and you're going to keep the suggestions in mind as you audition in the future. And then over time, your auditions and the work that you do for your clients is going to improve because you've had that training. So that's the end goal. A voiceover coach should help you improve your skills so that you're able to audition better for all kinds of different jobs. And a voiceover coach, they shouldn't only tell you what's wrong and how to improve. They should also be someone that you feel that you can bounce questions off of when you just have a question or you just aren't sure what to do. So there are a lot of coaches out there to choose from. Some of them have been around for years. Others have kind of started up in the past year or so. How do you pick the best one for you? So I've got some suggestions for you. First, I don't think it makes a difference if the coaching is done in person or virtually. I think you can benefit from both. If you work with a voiceover coach virtually, that's going to open up more coaching options to choose from instead of being limited to someone that's nearby. Also, I would suggest finding a coach that specializes in the niche that you're interested in. So if you want to do, say, like character or animation voiceover, find a coach who is known for that and who's going to give you scripts in that niche. And then if you want to get into commercials, you would find a commercial voiceover coach. Whatever you're interested in, just find a coach to match your interest. And finally, I'm not a big fan of the voiceover schools out there. I know some of them have coaches, but I think that you'd benefit more from like a one-on-one relationship with a coach where you know them and they get to know you. Because there has to be a lot of comfort in coaching. You don't want to end up dreading the time that you're with the coach or being so nervous that you can't even be natural and can't even listen to what they're saying. So you want to be as comfortable as possible, and you want to look at coaching as constructive criticism from someone who really wants you to succeed. So I would suggest that you find a coach that matches your personality, someone that you could hang out with, get to know them a little bit before you commit to like a year of coaching, because not all coaching styles are going to be a good fit for you. Some coaches treat it, like a boot camp and they're a drill sergeant, and others are going to be more gentle in their approach. So just find the one that works best for your personality and how you learn best. Now, another question that comes up is what if you can't afford a coach right now, right? What if you're just starting and you can't afford it? So if you can't afford a coach, I think the next best thing to coaching would be practicing. Just keep practicing. Listen to someone who is paid to do a voiceover. Maybe that's from a commercial, or an audiobook or something like that. Whatever area of voiceover that you're interested in, and then just try it yourself. Record yourself and then compare the two. Compare your version against the professional version, and just try to listen for ways that your voiceover could be improved. Now, you're not going to have that feedback that you would from a coach, and it may take you longer, but even so, the more you practice, the more that you're going to improve. So it's definitely doable even without ever having a coach. And even if you do have a coach, you're going to need to practice without the coach, because that's where you put into practice all that you've learned from the coach. You don't want to fall into the trap of thinking like you're never ready and you're constantly coaching, just procrastinating and never getting that real life experience. It's like anything in life, you're going to get better by doing. All right, so if you need help starting your search for a coach, there's a coaches section on the VoiceOver Resource Guide with several coaches listed there. You can find a link to that in the links and resources section below. And if you know of a coach who should be listed on there, leave a comment on the resource guide so that they can be included. All right, that wraps up this episode of the podcast. Don't forget, take a minute to record and upload your question to be used on an upcoming podcast episode, because I would really love to hear your voice on the podcast. All right, I'll talk to you next time. Have a great week. Hey, thanks for checking out this episode of the podcast. If you want to see another video, there's one waiting for you right here, or you can subscribe to the YouTube channel down in the corner. Or if you want to learn the 5 steps to becoming a voice actor, check out this free guide. It's available to download from voiceacting101.com/get started. All right, that's it. I'll talk to you next time. See ya.